Hello guys, my name is Williams and I'm here to demonstrate the art of boxing. So basically, boxing is a very popular sport, and unlike every other sport, boxing requires defense, offense, and a whole lot of skills, and it might take you some years to get to that. Boxing requires a whole lot of dedication as well. It requires a whole lot of nutrition and conditioning, and that requires running and just general body fitness, basically. And the thing with boxing is, just like every other sport, you require outfits, you require the gears and all that. So let's start with the basic gears, okay? You have the hand wrap. This is what it looks like when it's, loosened up, and this is what it looks like when it's already, tied up and ready. So basically what I got to do with this is I take this off right here, and you get to wrap it around your arms. So basically the purpose of this is to protect your wrist and your knuckles, because you're going to be doing a lot of throwing punches and all that, and you need a little support when it comes to your wrist. You wrap it around your arms, wrap it around your thumb, and you go around, try to make sure you get it around your fists, and basically the most important part are your knuckles and your wrists. So basically what this does is, you're gonna be fighting with leather, and leather, you don't wanna, scratch this up or mess this up, basically. And the other thing that we also need, this basically is for offense and protection, but this right here is for defense and protection as well. You basically put it over your head, and most people use this, with the amateur fights, and people also use this when they are training in the camp or the gym. They use this for protection. You don't want to kill yourself before the actual fight. So this protects your forehead and your jaw, and it has this little space which is deep enough that a punch can come in, but it's not going to hit the bridge of your nose. This protects you from any type of punch, the uppercut, the hooks, the sides. Now those are basically the gears you need, but there are more. You have the pad, the boxing pad as they call it. This is used for hand speed and strength, with body coordination. Basically, the fighter gets to hit the target base right here with enough force, and the trainer gets to move around and demonstrate a lot of skills and movements with it. And just like every other equipment in boxing, we get to the most famous equipment, which is the gloves. Now basically what the gloves is, boxing is not a bare knuckle sport. This is just for a little pad, a little cushion for the destruction, basically. This basically it comes in different sizes. You have the 8-ounce, the 12-ounce, and the 32-ounce, and it depends on the weight class, basically. One other thing with boxing, besides the equipment, is you can have all the equipment, you can have the best nutrition, you can have all that. If you don't have training and the skills, you'll not survive in the sport of boxing. When it comes to the skills, there are basically 4 basic skills that every boxer needs to know when they start out. The first one is the jab. It's the straight hand that comes, it's like a setup, basically. We call it the ruler, it's the measurement. So from here, I know basically the range that I can use to strike, and then when it comes to that, you have the punch, which is the jab, and the strike, which is basically the punch. So jab, punch, this is the measurement for this. This has a lot more power than this. So those are the 2 fundamental techniques to start out with boxing. The more complicated one is the hook. Now, as you can see, my foot and my body is put in a position where I can actually pivot. So when it comes to this, I can move everything in boxing has to do with your waist and your shoulders. It has basically nothing to do with your hands. So I can just move my body this way, and with my body, I can just move it. So when it comes to the hook, especially the left hook, I can always and when it comes to the right hook as well, my leg goes this way, and I swing with my waist, and it moves my shoulder as well. And this basically brings out enough power to knock your opponent out. That's the offensive part of boxing. When you come to the defensive part of boxing, your hands need to be up, like right here, protecting your chin, because this is basically the weak point of every fighter. Once you get hit right here, when you get hit in the kisser, it's night-night, okay? So you have to basically protect your chin and your temple right here. Protect both of them. Protect the vital organs right here, which is the lungs and the liver, because you don't want to get hit with a liver shot. That basically takes you out. Protect the liver, protect everything else. So from there you can boom, boom. When you see a punch coming, you can either dodge it or bob and weave out of it. Bob and weave out of it. So basically, those are the fundamental things you need to know about boxing: the defense, the offense, the skills, and you also need speed as well. And speed basically is what I call the blur, where if you're able to take off your opponent's sight, you're basically in his head. If he can't see where it's coming from, he doesn't know what you hit him with. So that way you have a little speed, you put a lot of power into it, whatever you come in with. You can go this way, you have the body right there, blur his face, body shot, liver shot, boom. Or you can blur, come right here with an uppercut. And if you notice, while I'm doing all this, I always have my hand up here. So even if I come with this, I'm protecting my chin and my liver. So even if I do not land and he moves out of it and he hit me, I'm protecting myself, my vital organ. And the thing with boxing is, you need a lot of cardio. You need a lot of running, skip rope, a lot of sit-ups. You know, you got to strengthen right here. The ab workout basically strengthens the abdominal muscles, kind of cushions and protects the vital organs basically. And you get to do a lot of head works, you know, try to dodge away from the punches, move away from it. Boxing is a very crazy sport, but it's a very loving sport as well. You get to realize yourself, you get to know your weakness, your limits as a person, and the main purpose is to go above your limits. You are bringing yourself to challenge another man. Basically, I know my limits and I know my skills. What are your limits and what are your skills? And if you're able to go past that in a fight of boxing mentally, then you basically won the fight. If you can get into another fighter's head and let him know, look, I know what I can do. Put fear in his eye. You gotta make him see the fear in your eye. If you basically accomplish that before even the fight, you've won the fight. When you go in there, make sure your skills speak for itself. Make sure your power speaks for itself. Make sure the conditioning speaks for itself. And it shows the relationship you have with your coach and other partners. If you have great relationship with your coach, your trainer, and your training partners, it shows in the ring. Because the fluidity that you use to perform the tasks and the things that you've learned in the gym, the whole world gets to see it, you know. And at the end of the day, it's all about the glory. You work hard, you get the glory. No guts, no glory. And I've personally been doing boxing myself for about 4 or 5 years now. I started when I was 16, and it's made me mature a lot. I used to have anger issues. It helped me with anger issues basically. Before I was, really quick to explode on people, but now I know my capabilities. I'm not scared. I don't have no weaknesses. So more than likely, it gives me a control. It's a control mechanism where I get to control my anger and learn to walk away from the situation. That way, you're staying out of trouble. Your mind is at rest. You have no fight or war with anybody, and it's a great sport to not only keep your body in shape, your mind in shape, but your spirit as well. You get to make great friends, and at the end of the day, your opponent is not your enemy. Your opponent is just another guy trying to make a living for himself like you are. So even after the fight, you shake hands and you show respect, because everything is all about discipline. And it's an art of violence, but it has a lot of discipline, and it shows a lot of respect as well. So once you're able to get past these as a boxer, I think you basically won the fight, and you're the heart of the champ, you're the heart of the people as well. And someday we might get to be champions, but you can never be a champion if you don't master what you're doing. And this goes to with every other thing. If you are a student, if you are a doctor, whatever, you gotta practice, and practice makes perfect. My name is Williams, and this is Principles of Communication. This is my demonstration for persuasiveness, and I hope I persuaded you enough to join the sport of boxing. Have a good day. Thank you.